Hey guys, Jeff Gibson here again with Jag Development, and today we're going to talk about changing a light switch out. I'm going to go over a few simple tips that you as homeowners can do at home and not have to hire an electrician, and even though we love our Sparkies, but not hire electricians and take care of just some cool things. Maybe even upgrade the switches or just do some regular maintenance. So we're going to dive right in. You're going to need a few tools. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver. You're also going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. I like to use a impact drill or a small drill to remove it, and I'll show you that phase. And then you're also going to need an electrical tester to make sure that you're not going to get zapped. So let's dive right in and let's remove this cover. I like to do this by hand. These screws are short. They're just little guys, kind of small. So set that aside. And then what I like to do is use an impact, or I call them an impact drill, like this, to take the outlet out. So we're gonna turn off the light switch, and then we're gonna go turn off the power to the circuit. So guys, if you're gonna be doing a lot of light switches or plugs, say you bought a new house and you just wanna switch all the plugs out to decor, I like using an impact because one, you're using a machine screw and it just takes forever. So let's unzip this real quick. Alright, see how many rotations that is? So this is when you're going to need an electrical tester. Now I like these little guys because they make noise. So we are hot. We're going to go ahead and turn off the power and make sure that this doesn't light up when we touch those things. So let's go turn off the power. So we found the circuit and we identified it, and now we've turned it off, so there is no more power there. Alright guys, now we've turned off the power, and so with your tester you can check this out. And there's no power. There's nothing hot in here. So this box is what I call a dead box. So what I'd like you to look at though, just in case you had an electrician that did your house or a handyman that did it and they didn't do it right, these things are wrapped around. I really like the way that this person did it. Now these are little slips. If you kind of look at the wires slipped right in, and they're over this clamp. Instead of, a lot of times electricians just stick it in that hole, and I just don't think that's a great connection over time. Now we are dealing with the new stuff of like LEDs, so we're not drawing a lot of heat, but the old lights drew a lot of heat. So every time that heated up and cooled down, that's why these light switches go bad, because of too much heat. So, and then obviously over here, the green is ground. So we just unscrew this and slip it off. Interesting about light fixtures or light switches is, if you kind of notice, they're both gold. Now there's an old saying in the electrical world is gold is hot, silver's not. What I mean by that is, if you look at an outlet, this is a regular outlet, you got gold screws and you got silver screws. The gold screws is where the black lines go, the hot lines go. The silver screws is where the neutral lines go, or the white lines. Then you got the green screws for the ground. So if you always remember, gold is hot, silver's not, you do pretty good in the world. So now we just put this back together. If you notice on a light switch though, they're both gold because they're both hot lines. One is just a hot line coming in there, and this is the light switch that breaks that up, turns it on and off, and the other one goes up to the light fixture. So we just put them back in there. Now I like it when they loop it around that ground like that. Really makes a good ground. Just tighten that up. I like to use hand screws. I got my impact here, but I don't know. You just can't really feel the same way as you can with a hand screwdriver. Now, when it comes to the blacks, like, do I put it on the upper or the lower? It really doesn't matter on a single switch, because all it's doing is interrupting the power or completing the power. So it doesn't really matter if it goes up or down. Let's get that there, slide it all the way in. Alright, so this is where the impact comes in good, because you don't have to use a hand screwdriver. You just get it started. Top, get the bottom started. Now we can put the cover back on. Before we put the cover back on, we're going to turn the power on just to make sure everything is good so we don't have to remove the cover. So I'm going to run out there and turn the power back on and we'll be right back. Alright guys, now we're back here. We're going to turn the power back on. Look at that, lights work. So a lot of things to do to upgrade your home and the look of your home is your plate covers. Now I would highly recommend anything with a nylon plate cover. And the reason for that, the nylon stuff, you can twist it, you can bend it, it's like virtually unbreakable. Some of the older stuff that may or may not be in your home, when you take it off, if you just like step on it or lean on it or over tighten the screws, it'll just crack it. So I like these because they're very forgiving. You know, anything that you can't break real easy is great in my book. Now we just put the covers back on. I also like this, especially if we have pretty smooth wall texture around here. If you have a rough wall texture or you're trying to go around tile on a backsplash, it'll mold pretty well. And you can really kind of tighten them up and makes it look good. And that, my friends, is how you change out a light switch. Have a great day.